Howdy nerds, I'm Wes.
I'm Tom.
And I'm Aaron.
Today we're taking a look at Old West Empresario by Tasty Minstrel.
Can you believe this? We said howdy, he's wearing a hat. Our production quality is so high. So this game is basically a spiritual sequel, so to speak, to another game called Pioneer Days by TMG that we did a review for that. We have that up on our channel. You can go check that out. Spoiler alert, we actually really loved that game. I think all of us really liked it. Yeah. It was a kind of a surprise because initially none of us were like, this is going to be, we were all like, it's going to be good because TMG's generally pretty good, but we weren't like, this is going to be great. So does this one hold up?
Let's find out.
Yeah. Find out. Go back at 9.
At the end of it, Pioneer Days, you're traveling to the Old West, and now we're settling in the Old West.
I just got that.
And it even says it in the rules somewhere, like you finally made it and you're settling down. And so now we're building a town, and we're going to do that by drafting dice and using those dice to either draft buildings or activate the buildings we already have in our town.
Or
that match
gain
that.
income.
Yeah, or you can ditch the building for income, but nobody does that.
Yeah, so it essentially is a dice drafting, tile laying, engine building game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Those are
Those
the
keywords.
So the dice you roll them and you put them out, spread them out there. You got 2 buildings under each die number, and the dice you're drafting is for either you're going to be able to purchase a building that's under that die. Mm-hmm. You're going to activate that number, and usually when doing that, you can also activate your town hall or some other buildings will let you do this too to build the buildings that you gathered. Because when I said that you take a die and you take a building that's under there, you put it face down and you have to flip it up with a build action, which everybody starts their town hall being able to do that. But sometimes you can get other buildings that will let you do it for free or for cheaper or on a different activation number or what have you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when you put them face down, they always have to go next to a building that's already built. So at the beginning of the game, you have your town hall, and you only have 3 adjacent spots that are still open for building because you already have one that's face down. So you need to, you can get another couple buildings over here, but then you need to start using the build action, which is nice that the town hall you can activate has the question mark. So anytime you use an activation, you can activate town hall, spend your coin, build.
After everyone has drafted 2 dice, there's always going to be 1 left over, and then everybody gets to use that to just activate their town, and you can always activate your town hall when you do it. Now, with the buildings going out there's a lot to keep track of points-wise, because a lot of the buildings have points based on adjacencies. So, like, this building wants to be adjacent to this building, or this building wants to be by itself, or this building wants to have the same building adjacent in a long row. Mm-hmm. On top of that, there's a slight set collection aspect, because you've got your cotton, your oil, and your railroad. Railroads score points based on how long it is. Cotton fields score points based on how many non-adjacent cotton fields you have. So you want to keep your cottons all separate. And then oil is just majority. You want to have the most oil at the table. So looking at that set collection aspect, as well as like what your buildings want to be close to, as well as there's like 3 goals per game for either having, this shape built or this type of building built or these different numbers built. Yeah. There's a lot to keep track of for points in that aspect. But I think my issue is I always get too caught up in that, and I don't pay enough attention to the engine building aspect of the game. Because on top of just those points, there's also your engine that will generate income and generate victory points and let you build buildings, let you activate buildings that will do one of those other things. And having a really good engine built is so important in this game.
Yeah, if you can get if you can get a mine and a distillery with the same number in your town and you activate them both, the mine will get you 2 gold, and the distillery you spend 1 gold and you get 2 victory points. So you can really start ramping up. You're getting 2 victory points plus a coin to spend on a later action if you net it that way.
A mine and 2 distilleries will give you 4 victory points essentially every time you activate
turn,
it.
every time you
or just coins, because coins, it's only 1 point per 3 coins. A lot of buildings you have to pay a coin to do something. Mm-hmm. So coins definitely aren't like you want to have the most money. It's so important. It's definitely nice to have a good little purse of coins.
It's also, you spend a coin, you can adjust the number of the die that you take.
Yeah.
So you could change a 5 to a 4 to a 6. So it gives you some versatility, because there definitely were some times, because there are also gold cards out there. The first one to do X will get some gold. So I'll be like, okay, so I really want to take, I could take either of these buildings, but I'm going for the have one of each activation number, and Aaron already has a 5. So I'm going to take this 2, so all Aaron's left with is this 5, so even if he takes that, he's not getting closer towards that goal type of thing. Mm-hmm. So there is some hate drafting, but I don't know, I feel like drafting is...
You're always trying to get the best thing for yourself.
You are always trying to get the best thing for yourself, but the drafting in this game is... I don't think it's the main part.
It definitely was less important than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, so in Pioneer Days, drafting is more important. Mm-hmm. I feel like it's comparable to the tile placement. It's still something that you do, but it's not like it's all about drafting the right thing and then just figure out your thing over here all afterwards. It's like no. Every where I place it, what it's adjacent to, the clumps, the abilities. There's so much versatility on multi-use on the tiles that yeah, you're right. Choosing it is tough, but where it goes in there is almost tougher,
Yeah. And again, I think that engine building is one of the most important things, because I'd have times where I didn't have a great engine built. So I'm like, okay, well, I could draft this 6 and then activate it and get 1 or 2 things. Is that worth it, other than getting another building added over here? But if you had it where you had 4 different buildings that all chained off of 6 that let you activate other buildings, it'd be a no-brainer. Well, of course I want to activate the 6 and get all this stuff happen at once, which I think is kind of how you typically run away leader.
I like that. If you can get a couple with the same thing. Also, in this game, there are these teepees. They're buildings that you build, but they instantly come into your town built, and they just give you an instant reward. Mm-hmm. A lot of them are just take 2 more villagers into your town, which are the victory points. Or the one that really helped me was get a victory point, get that villager, and you get to build right away. So then I just okay, well, this building over here, I'm going to build it. And then on the next turn, I was able to activate that building. Or there was one of these other TP tiles that I drafted. It let me what was it? It was activate. You pay to activate any building. So then I paid to activate a building that let me build. So it was 2 additional builds I got out of just drafting these tiles. Plus, adds to your village. You get 2 more villagers.
And they are themselves a bit of a set collection-y thing of just having, you get 4 points for having the most in a big clump. Mm-hmm. So again, it's almost kind of point salad a little bit.
But not point salad the game.
No, right. But it's not point. It's point salad in the fact that there are tons of different ways to gather points, and you need to choose the best route. Not every single thing you do will get you points.
It
depends on
how can I use this? This will give me points in 4 different ways. Which one of those ways is the most points? Mm-hmm. And it can be really a little bit brain burnery to figure out. I could put it here and get these points. I could put it here and these points, here and these points, but I have to make sure that I can then build it later. So it's a little bit of a toss up in that way.
I really like the artwork in this game. It's very similar to Pioneer Days. I think it's the same artist. I'd have to check the book and the box or whatever, but I think it's the same artist. It has it looks exactly the same. The people don't have faces though.
It is art by Sergi Marquette. Art by Sergi Marquette.
Marseille.
Shut up.
That was an instant draw for me because I already liked Pioneer Days from playing it. So I'm like, oh, it's the same art. It's a very similar game. I'm going to love it. So that had a draw for me. I love dice drafting. The puzzliness of building, with tile placement is always a draw for me. I don't have any huge negatives. I mean, I can't think of anything.
I will say, I still really enjoyed the game. Probably not as much as Aaron did, but Aaron loves every game more than I do, probably. but I kind of think I still like Pioneer Days better. This is still really fun. I'd still definitely play it again. And I'm excited to play it again because I'm definitely realizing mistakes I made in the last game, thinking, oh, I should do this differently next time. Why did I buy this here instead of put that? Because there's a bit of analysis paralysis problem that could happen. I really like dice drafting. And I feel like it's not the main part here. In Pioneer Days, dice drafting was definitely the main thing you were doing. So I had more fun with that. So my recommendation is purchase Pioneer Days first. And if you like it, then get this one.
I'm pretty lukewarm on this game. I don't have any specific complaints that this made me not like it. I just coming out of it, I'm just kind of It's all right. I'll play it again.
Do you feel like it feels too like neither you nor I are very keen on tile placement? And that's,
Yeah, and it's a little bit, again, I get hung up on the tile placement more than the engine building. I kind of felt like there was a lot of points where I'm like, okay, I've built this up to put this building here.
And now it's not out there.
And it's not out there. Oh, now it's out there. Now Aaron took it. Well, crap. Now what can I do with what's here? I don't want any of this garbage. Oh, well, none of these dice activate any of these buildings that I have. So it's not plentiful.
yeah. No, you're all right. That it can feel plentiful when you're pulling off combos if you happen to get the right stuff, but it's not like the games where you can always pull off combos. You're just trying to find the best combo.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, it sounds almost a little contradictory to the thing I said earlier when it's pointsality, but it's just like every tile has the potential to get you points in different ways, but some of the really big and cool and fun ways, the stars need to align in order for that to happen.
But again, I don't have any specific negatives. I feel like the flop was kind of against me, and maybe the dice I didn't activate well. But
Old
again,
West.
maybe I focused too much on, like, I didn't diversify my numbers enough, or I didn't build my engine enough. The biggest thing for me, I think, is I was constantly starved for cash. I didn't build an engine that generated enough income,
those
and
mines.
even though income isn't a lot of points, a lot of activations need money to use them. But again, I don't have any negatives. I think I just haven't played this game well. But if dice drafting, tile laying, engine building does sound like something you like, definitely check this game out by purchasing it from the link in the description box down below.
It's down there. It's down there.
Well, we're all melting, so just subscribe to our channel so you'll never be bored. I really like that dice drafting.